Hello, in this video I'm going to show the progress that I'm making on the Great Pyramid game that I'm working on. I'm going to just press play and then show the changes I've made and the progress that I'm making as I play the game. My laptop lags because it's slow running Unreal Engine 5. Also, sometimes I press the W key and the character just keeps going forward even after I take my finger off the key. I think that's caused by the lag also. So it's hard to control the character. Okay, so the entrance was 1.5 meters and I changed it to 1 meter wide. And the actual pyramid is, the entrance is 1 meter high also. So mine's higher than it should be because I don't know yet if I want to change it to the actual 1 meter high because then you'd have to crouch. So I want to do some tests and see how the gameplay is. I might change it so it's correct 1 meter high later, so you have to crouch. Or I might just keep it like this so you don't have to crouch. I haven't decided yet. But it's the correct 1 meter wide. All the materials are still temporary too. This is the passageway that goes to the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber. So I'm going to continue downward and go to the underground chamber. So this is the underground chamber, and this is the correct dimensions according to Wikipedia. Now in the photos I see of the underground chamber, it looks like a rocky cave, and I'm going to probably try to change it to look like that later. But right now I'm just going to keep it as a square, but it's the correct dimensions according to Wikipedia. Now there's also a dead-end passage down here. I think it's at the back wall. I haven't included that yet, but I'll probably add that later. I'm not sure of the position of the door, so I put it in the middle. I haven't been able to find out yet the position of the door. There's actually not a lot of information about the underground chamber, so it's harder to find information on that. Okay, so this is the stairway that goes to the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber. And this is 1 meter wide also. And it should be 1 meter high, but I have it higher so you don't have to crouch right now. Now we're coming up to the Grand Gallery, and this is 2 meters wide. So the Grand Gallery here is 2 meters wide. Before I had it at 1.5 meters. Now this is 1 meter wide, and again this should be 1 meter high. So you'd have to crouch if I make it the correct height. But right now, you can just stand up. That's the drop-off step that I just passed. And now this is the Queen's chamber. Now the Queen's chamber has a slanted roof, and it's the only chamber or room that has a slanted roof. Now the Queen's chamber has a notch that I think it's on this wall over here. I haven't added that yet. I'll probably add that later. Okay, so this is the Grand Gallery, which is 2 meters wide. And this has a tall ceiling, which is the correct height. Now, the walls are kind of have a series of indentations that go inward until it reaches the ceiling. I haven't added that yet. I'm probably going to add that later. Now this is 1 meter wide, and this is the entrance to the King's Chamber. Now actually this I think would be 1 meter high also, but right now I have it at so you could walk without crouching. Now if you look up at the ceiling, there's an indentation on the ceiling. That's where they had these granite, I think they're made out of granite stones, or they call them plugs, and they lowered those to block off the access to the King's Chamber. They lowered them with ropes. That's what I read. So this doesn't show any of the plugs being there. It just it's empty. But it would have stone plugs there that were lowered with ropes. And this is the King's Chamber. The King's Chamber has a flat roof. On the very top of the King's Chamber, there's a slanted roof, but you can't see it from the inside the room. And the material I'm using here looks probably similar to what it actually looks like, except that to me, from the photos, it looks more like cement color. And I think the stones are actually larger than the stones here. I think there's about 5 layers of stones. This is a sarcophagus, and I hollowed this out. I didn't put a material on there yet, but I think the sarcophagus is made out of granite. So that's the progress that I've made so far.